I think the meeting is now getting recorded on the cloud.
Um, is my screen is visible?
Yes.
Sudhir.
Yeah, regarding TLS to Postgres equals function error, actually, this is the error which is related to the TLS, where we need to have secure communication between our application and database. So, the person Tikeren already created an issue, and for that, Archana replied that to create an PR for this, and he created a PR related to this particular issue, and we have tested this and uh, previous month, and it has some scope issue while his first commit, and we have put some command and he repushed his code, and we have tested his current uh, push. Now we need confirmation from your end whether it can be proceed, or do we need any change. Hello,
Mhm.
Arun?
Mm,
We have introduced
looks
that TLS process.
right. And how do we tell which certificate to trust?
Oh, sorry.
So in this case, like we are saying
Mm,
um, SSL as true, right?
yes.
How do we tell like which of them to trust? Like which? I'm
In
assuming this SSL true will make the client
mm,
verify for the certificate which is
mm,
served by the
mm,
Postgres.
yes. Actually, normally that SSL TLS, actually, while I am working in the ClickLock also, I have faced this issue. For that,
Mhm.
two options they have told that one self-signed and another one is we need to get a certificate from IT services. I mean, some organizations, certified organization. That is the thing. But normally these things will be held in our HTTPS server itself, right?
Right. So my question is like, how do we tell? So like one thing is machine itself already has this information pre-configured,
Yes,
right?
actually,
The client machine.
yeah, here he already have an SSL enabled thing, and he made it as a false, right? SSL option for that. So with
Right.
that, and
Okay. So let's see. I'll put it this way. So we run this contain explorer in a container, and database is running elsewhere. And so typically what happens is in the browser, like for instance, the github.com, that HTTPS, we are able to see it because browser already trust certificates served by github.com.
mm,
And in this case, Postgres could be, as you said, self-hosted, or it could be from a cloud service provider like Azure or Google or somebody else. And the question is like, how will the client, which in this case is the Explorer, trust that certificate which is coming from a third party? Otherwise, the other, like typically what we do is we inform the client, in this case it would be Explorer, that hey, here are the trust certificates that you can trust, or here are the list of certificates that you can trust. And as long as even we enable this SSL connection, as long as like client connects to those servers which is served by those certificates, it it can trust it. I don't know if this enabling this feature will throw an error saying that it does not trust the certificate. Like setting it as SSL true will force it to expect a SSL connection, but it may start complaining that I don't understand who is serving this certificate.
So at this
I'm
point,
just
uh, uh, yeah, I understand that. So whether we need to get the particular certificate to verify whether it is trusted party or not, and that's the thing, right?
yes, something like that.
That's
Like we may not need it all the time because
mm,
um, I
okay.
think in a typical setup, like, if we are going to cloud service providers like Azure or somebody,
Okay.
they will already, like, those certificates would be already
Mm,
trusted. I don't know, maybe through underlying Linux operating system or whichever underlying base machine that we create.
mm,
But here there is high chance that we may not be able to.
yes, actually, in my understanding, self-signed certificate is not approachable. So we need to get any authorized. But in our case, I don't know whether we can get or not.
Yeah, so this looks good. The PR looks good. Check if we can introduce another way of loading those trust certificates into our program.
Okay. Mm,
It could be through an environment variable or a folder that is created somewhere, and we
mm,
can list all the certificates in that folder.
mm,
And
mm,
when Explorer runs,
mm.
it reads the folder and it knows which certificates to trust for Postgres connection.
Okay. Certificate, I mean, before starting that, it need to go through that certificate. Then only it will be possible. I think.
Right.
Okay. Um,
Um, yeah, this in case if Postgres is being served by some certificate which our Explorer may not trust.
mm, mm, yes. But currently we didn't have any certificate. Okay. Then I'll check that whether we can able to get any like in a way. If if there is not, then I'll let you know and we'll discuss it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Varun. And my team also have some PR related thing and have some queries. So we will start one by one. Uh, can anyone start? Maybe Sumana, I can. Sumona or Manish?
Yeah,
Uh, you can speak.
the server is stopped. I'm just running the server.
Okay. In between, Manish, are you ready for that? You have some queries, right?
Yes, Udaya.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, hi, Arun. So, since I was implementing that metric related changes into our Explorer application, like we last discussed, right? So, with reference to that, Arun, I have just picked one such metric that is like ledger block storage commit time. So, I am able to listen those metric in for our Explorer application. As you can see, I can get these upper bound histogram values and these bucket values. All these things I'm able to get. But within the hash map value, currently I'm getting this empty hash map value. So idea is like once we are able to get this exposed metric by the Prometheus, so we should get the metric value as hash map there, right? So since I'm able to get that metric values from other like metric node height, these values I'm getting within that hash map values. But the metric which I have specifically picked like that, this block storage commit time, I'm just trying to like listen this metric as part of our Explorer application. So I'm just I am trying to listen and just getting this empty as my value. So currently I'm working onto that metric related changes. And apart from that, like if you have any idea about that around like since the Aditya's PR that has been raised so long past, So with that changes, I'm able to, let me show you. I'm able to listen to these like node up values. I can get as up or down, or the one or zeros I can get. But with our metric implementation, like, is there any place other than like we need to expose these metrics to listen, like whatever the metrics I want to implement as part of our Explorer application, do I need to expose somewhere else too? So I'm like looking more into that. Like if you have any kind of idea though, that could help, Arun. Like since I'm taking one such metric and trying to implement. Because with that metric, collect metric function, I'm just trying to listen that expose metric with that label name as channel as part of our Explorer. So like if we need
So
to
what
like
is- So what you're saying is you're referencing this Fabric source code to implement something similar in Explorer, is it? That's what you said.
Yeah, similar to like what this PR says to us, like this 4 metric I can listen as part of our Explorer application. So since like if I try to listen that metric node up values as part of our Explorer application, so I may get that values. But within this block storage commit time, which I want to implement as part of Explorer, so I'm looking like how can we implement that too. That's what like I'm looking.
Maybe I'm failing to understand the question. So are you asking like which kind of metric would this be? Like whether it's a like histogram or maybe some other metric? Is that what you're asking? Like a counter or something?
No. Actually, I want to ask like since this I'm understanding like this is a histogram metric and I'm trying to implement this particular metric. Okay, but my question is like I have taken this metric from this this metric reference, like which is already exposed by the Prometheus. The following order metric, these are the order metric that has been exported for consumption by Prometheus. So the idea is like I can take any of the metric as part of our Explorer and I can listen to that. The question is that because like what this PR says, like this 4 metric I can listen as part of our Explorer. So is there like any place we need to expose these matrices?
So
Apart from
this, I think this PR is not to listen to these metrics. This PR is to expose these metrics.
correct, yeah,
It's not
correct, that
listening, it's an exporting, right? So similar to these metrics, Explorer will have other information which is at network level. So typically, if you just go with orderer or just a peer or just something else, it's like you only get visibility at one organization level or one node level information. But Explorer has network level information. Explorer can get information of like whether other nodes are up and running. Explorer has information of what's the block height of other nodes, right?
correct.
So this is not readily available. So the idea is Explorer can expose those metrics, the information that Explorer has. The reason why it helps to expose it is if you just have the UI, like it helps in visualizing, knowing what's happening. But with metrics,
That's correct.
it's possible for us to set alerts and do some actions on the same data that Explorer already has. It becomes a powerful tool and people will want to use it. So it's not collecting, it's actually exporting. This PR is to export.
That I can maybe I just wrongly conveyed. So this is like, I understand that like this is like exposing those metric. So somewhere I have to listen to, that's what I'm saying. So like if I want to export similar to that, what he has done in this particular PR, like let me show you.
Okay, in order to listen, what we can do is create a Prometheus. Like for instance, it will have to be a production environment setup, right? But for testing purpose, you could create a Docker Compose file which has Prometheus in it, and in Prometheus, you'll have to configure the endpoint to listen to. Like in this PR, there must be some port, right? It could be like explorers.com that port / metrics. Start listening to information.
Okay, so in this collect metric, basically, as you can see, like first we have created that since what is like case or the histogram metric, we have like export this metric as you have showed, right? Within this metric with the level whatever has been provided in this like documents, we can take it from there. So and apart from that, once we are going to collect those metrics, so in that we are able to get those map values which I'm trying to show it here. So in order to that like this empty hash map values, and that's what like I'm currently troubleshooting. So my question is like if I need to get these hash map values from like maybe some exposed metric or somewhere else, so that part could help, I guess, because I'm trying to like
hash map correspond to? Which metric does it correspond to?
it is like ledger block storage commit time. This one, that is a histogram, or maybe the fabric version.
Fabric's one, right? Not the Explorer one.
Sorry, Arun, I missed you.
I'm missing some point here. Sorry, I'm not able to
Arun,
get.
so the thing is like, see, these are all functionalities which are available, right? So this been implemented, and it is correspondingly this particular functionality will be available from the peer or from the orderer. So we are trying to bring the same thing in our Explorer too. So, but the thing is like how to implement this to where we need to refer the source code that is we are looking for.
Okay, that would be part of Fabric's
Fabric.
source code. I can search for some reference, and but this is in Go language. The
Yes,
Fabric.
Fabric is in Golang. Yeah. Yesterday we have spent some time looking like, but the thing is like from where to start. That is what we got stuck.
Yes, ledger block storage commit time. But is Explorer reading this information currently? The
No,
commit time.
no, Arun.
Okay, you're just referencing this for one example, then, right?
Hi Arun, Krishna this side.
Yes.
Yeah, so I started the Grafana and Prometheus server in HLF network itself, and I was able to listen this ledger block storage commit time and fabric version. But the thing is that there must be some Prometheus client implementation in Fabric itself in Golang, which I was not able to find. If I will find that, we will implement same thing in Explorer and expose these matrices.
I understand now. Okay. You need the reference implementation of that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm searching for it. Yeah, we can continue this meeting, and if I can search by sometime, I'll share it. I'm looking through source code, figure out where it is.
Sumana, if application is up, then you can
Yeah.
start
So
sharing.
in the UI part, I have a couple of changes and one PR out. Let me share my screen. I'm starting with the UI changes. First, we have added one database purging thing. Block count and time. Time is disabled, one input, and that go will show the block counts. So the API is not currently merged. The other changes in channel page. One more column has been added. Total blocks, and the information has been added. Total block count is in ledger. For blocks, block available after purge boot time, and for transaction available after purge boot time. So these are the couple of changes in the UI. And for the PR,
1 second, Sumana. Can you go to that UI changes? So first one is this purge, right? Arun, Manoj will be working on this. Now, like a couple of weeks back, we were discussing, right? The purge will be based, time we are not doing now. It will be based on block count. But this we are giving an option to user. Whenever he wants to purge, then that time he can use this option to purge the DB. He can enter as many blocks as he wanted to purge. So backend Manoj will start maybe next week, something like that. So this is one UI change. Arun.
yeah, and the minimum has been kept as 1 and up to any positive numbers.
Nice. So the configuration is now it's stored in the database instead of input configuration.
Exactly.
This looks good. Thank you.
And the other changes like with the boot time, can you go to this one? So what is happening here is like whatever the data we get that is available in the PostgreSDB, blogs and transactions are on. It is not the total number of blogs and transactions available as part of Ledger. So like we have asked Manoj to give here the total count of Ledger. Blocks he could able to get, but what is happening with transactions is like he has iterate through each block, take the transaction count of respective block, and then at the end he would make a summation of these transactions. So but we thought if he would implement in that way, if huge number of blocks are there iterating through each block getting the transaction count, it would have a performance impact. So for transactions we are not able to get the any that is like built-in function available from Fabric. So here what we thought was like whatever the blogs and transactions that are available as part of Postgres, that we would replicate it in the same way. Apart from that, total blocks he can get it from the ledger that we have built-in function. We can use that to get these changes we have done. Arun, any suggestions here?
Right. So I think number of transactions was already being shown. How was that being done? Like, was it stored in a separate storage within the Postgres, like separate table as a aggregation information. As in when new blocks are arriving, maybe it was aggregating at that time.
Transactions, there is a separate table, but right now it's like during the boot time we will load only those many blocks, right, Arun? So
Mhm.
those many blocks only will get saved to the transaction tables. So if I have 100 blocks, maybe
Mhm.
if I want to load only 20 blocks, so 20 blocks of data is available in PostgreSDB, right? So
Understood.
accordingly, though, huh,
So I'm thinking, if it, yeah, that sounds good. So in these cases, does it help if we do something like keep some aggregate information table, which never gets refreshed or cleared up? Um, so I'm assuming like if the purging is not enabled, then like data is always loaded from block number 0, right?
no, this is boot time feature, right?
Right. So does it mean like we don't load from block number 0?
Correct.
Hmm. And this transaction that we are listing, you're saying like it's the total transactions on the channel.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, then it becomes difficult because we will not have track of how many transactions are those. Does like Fabric peer or orderer have any metric that transmits this number of transactions?
I think so. It is there, Arun, but the thing is like we have to do again research till the time we can't merge this PR.
Mhm. Can we do something else for this transactions? I think the like what you're saying is the idea is to have list of number of transactions shown here as a summary that
Hmm.
has gone into this channel.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I need to think a bit more on this. I can't think of any ideas right now. So yeah, because we don't, if we had something like always load from block number 0, then we could always have an aggregate table. The aggregate table will have summary stored at any point in time. If that's not the case, then we will lose track of transactions count.
Hmm.
So there is no out of the box option to list number of transactions, is it, in Fabric?
It might be available, Arun, like we need to look into.
Okay. So in worst case, what we can do is we
Hmm.
can show these many transactions in last these many blocks instead of showing at the channel level. We can say
Hmm.
22 transactions in last 20 blocks, 22 transactions in last 5 blocks, like a small statement after that numbers.
Uh-huh.
um, so there is one more thing that I was discussing with Deepika. I don't think she's on the call right now. Like there is a page for listing transactions, right? So that
Hmm.
listing blocks that has number of transactions per block information, or like actually I think it lists the transaction IDs, not the number.
Correct.
There we can list number per block, and then when they click that number, it may expand into transaction hashes.
Sumana, can you go to blogs tab? Blogs in. Can you change the states? So here, number of transactions you can see, right, Arun, in this particular block. Number of transactions, and we have this transaction IDs under the trans.
Got it. And from a UX perspective, from the user experience, if there are more number of transactions in one block, then I think it lists one below the other. Then some
Correct.
of these rows look so big compared to others.
Yes.
Let's do it that way. Because we don't have a possible way unless Fabric has that out of the box option. Otherwise, we don't have possible way of doing it. We can only say these many transactions in last these many blocks.
Okay. So here in the channels tab, like besides to transactions, we just give one message like how she has done, right, Arun? For now.
Yeah. Then this feedback has to go into Deepika's new UX so that she can think of better way of representing it.
Sumana, that PR subdirectory.
Yeah. The PR, this PR states that the Explorer need to be hosted in a subdirectory. So the issue with this was that after adding this for file changes, our application was not showing any difference before and after changing the file changes, adding the file changes. So I posted a comment to provide some screenshots. So they have posted one, and here they are we can say that they are using a domain name server, and thus they are using the subdirectory. So my doubt was, do we need this file changes for our application? Because it was not showing any significant changes after adding those file changes.
Can you show the PR?
Yeah.
Currently, the Hyperledger can be hosted at the root of a domain name. Will this change? It's possible also to host some directory, for example, this. Okay, can we see the file changes that are done?
In the package JSON and all the operation.js API calls.
So in package JSON, he has added this home page, and he is referring to maybe instead of subdirectory, he kept it something dot only, Arun. So this is one of the standard representation in React they are using if they want to host it as a subdirectory. Then
Right.
in the in other, what he did was like he just removed this slash in the routes.
Yep. I remember facing this issue as well. I thought there was a troubleshooting page or something which listed this issue. I vaguely remember some part of it. They had written some options on how to mitigate this. See the Explorer repository.
I mean, like, do we require to be hosted it on a subdirectory, Arun? That is like our first out.
So where to host it would typically be choice of deployment, right? So maybe I see like this is from a settlement company. The person has a domain called settlement. So they are like blockchain service providers. And for them, maybe it makes sense to have subdomain instead of new domains created for every instance. Like they are a service provider, right? So they may have settlement.com/company1/company2/company3, or maybe /network1/company1. It may help for sure, having that flexibility. I'm trying to see if this was documented. I remembered reading about it in one of the pages. Navigate login default credential. Yeah. Okay, this is about. Okay, let's take this also as an open question. So first open question was about metrics. Second open question is about this one. Yeah, a feature like this will definitely help, but we'll just want to make sure like the previous maintainers already had some options of this.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take this also as an action item. We'll come back. I'll reply back either in chat or. Oh yeah, I think I found it. So there is this. Can you open this page?
Sumana, can you open that?
Yeah, I'm sharing.
But this is Nginx server, right, Arun?
Right. I think the previous maintainers thought like this problem can be solved by adding a proxy server
Nginx.
in.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, this could still be a solution. Try and comment this on the PR and see what the person says. Otherwise, I think we can look for native way of supporting it.
Yeah.
Nice. I think we are getting good contributions from other companies. That's a good thing.
So instead of the whatever he has suggested, so we ask him to do this Nginx setup, Arun. Okay. Sumana, the other 3 to 4 PRs also you have reviewed, right? So UI related PRs are there, Arun. She has given review comments. If possible, please review those one. She can give the PR numbers to you.
Sure.
She She has
Yeah,
tested, like after testing only she has given review comments.
and
Sure.
I've added the screenshot also. Possible. So this is the other peer register form. They have added icons before the fields. The problem with this peer was that it was not fitting in the screen size, and the first name and the last name has some like signs. It should be more universal. So that those comments I have put. If the screen size would be modified and the icons for this peer.
Yep. Do you know if like they are from China, the contributors? Looks like it based
Uh,
on that.
this was I think Harpreet.
I
I
think so. He's from China.
Yeah, we can feedback saying that use an icon which is more universal,
Yeah,
language agnostic kind of thing.
and the same has been added to use more
Looks,
universal icons.
looks good.
Okay, and the other was this footer PR. This PR was fine. The only issue with this PR was that it was not
Use.
responsible with in every screen or mobile screens. This was the issue with this PR. Like
Mhm.
these texts were going out from this footer section into the other screens. So this was the issue. So I've commented that for now we are going with the existing application, the current design for now.
Okay. And also, I
And
don't see that they have done a DCO sign off in the PR. That can also be another comment to them.
yes, sir. And commits also like 3 he has given. And apart from that, he also added this Hyperledger Explorer icon at the to the footer. In the actual implementation, we don't have this. So that was also our doubt whether we need to like add or not. So for this, whatever present implementation is there, that looks good for us. Like she has checked the responsiveness with respect to it, like iOS
Screens.
and everything. Screen says, yeah.
Because we are already using it on the top, so and they are have put one more in the footer. And one more channel form. They have added this channel form changes, but in our application we don't have this form. So I posted that if where are they using this channel form in their application? We currently don't have this channel form.
Right. Are they expecting to create a new channel of part of this? I think it looks like they're trying to create a new channel as part of this. We can tell them maybe like this is not the right project and
Mm.
or I think better to ask them to join one of these calls so that they can talk to maintainers, right?
Okay.
And let's understand why they want to do something like this. And if it makes sense, we'll think of a way to for them to do some features like this.
Yeah. Yeah. These were the PRs.
Yeah. Let's ask the contributors to join one of these calls. Let's understand the intent if it makes sense and like if the feature really helps, we can think of a way. But our idea was to move away from the administration thing, right? Eventually from Explorer. I think the current only dependency on administration is to create the user identities that we have that can be used for creation of new user identities.
Yeah, register user.
And other than that, I don't see we have a admin key dependency anywhere else. And this new channel creation kind of looks like they are expecting a configuration created elsewhere and submitting that configuration through this form. There could be other better ways of handling this. Like for instance, the other project that I get involved is the HLF connector that has APIs too that can connect, and like API can do all of this without having to do anything outside of the API. All we have to do is just pass some information for the API. It creates the channel.
Actually, in this PR, they have solved this issue, like the representation issue. So we can ask where they are to join and where they are using this form, and in particular, this PR, they have resolved this issue, that representation issue. To select files from this to this.
Oh, I never saw this page. Like, where is this page? I did not know we had a channel submission page.
Yeah.
No, we don't have Arun.
So where is this coming from? Yeah, I don't think so. I never seen this page in Explorer.
Yeah, we have read to clarify where you found what it is. Is that?
Oh, it's an issue, is it? We can say, yeah, we can wait. We can give like few days of time and say that, hey, we don't see the screen on Explorer. Let us know, where do you see it? And we can close it afterwards. That's okay. We can add a comment and close this issue if it is not relevant to us.
Okay. Yeah, those methods. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Manoj, can you also share the update?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, that boot time is completed, Arun. According to like Archana gave some feedback regarding the total blocks, and it is also completed. And apart from that, I need to start this purge mode, looking into that purge implementation according to the new scenario, which from the UI, yeah, backend. Those are the changes, and I will show the purge. I don't know boot time feature. Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
So yeah, so so the network is already up and running. So So I have created some three different channels with the different transaction count and blocks count. So in all mode, it will boot up the Hyperledger Explorer will boot up with all the blocks that are available. So let me show you the custom mode. So as of now, I have three blocks, 6 and 7 respectively. So let me boot up with two blocks. So, so what will just boot up with the video is not stop. So as you can see, I booted up Explorer with the latest two blocks. So each and every channel will boot up with the latest two blocks, and all the information will be shown here. So the latest two blocks in channel, my channel is block 6 and block 5. Similarly, in different channels, it will update block 2, block 1, and channel 3, block 5, and block 4. So it's I have tested with the different scenarios also with the different chain codes and upgrading the chain code and all the things. So those are working fine. And regarding this total blocks, so we need to I need to discuss with Archana, and we can uh, do the changes accordingly. So for just for testing, I just created one more block, one more tab for this total blocks where I can see total number of blocks that is running in each channel. So this has been implemented, and this is in channel 3. Similarly, channel 2 and channel 3. My channel. This is a default channel, and let me just perform one transaction just to check whether it is updating. Okay. If you can see, the transaction is getting updated here, the data, and it is also being updated here. If you can see in my channel, the total number of blocks has been updated. So yeah, these are the changes which I have been working on. Similarly, this also being updated, and I have checked all the tabs whether the changes is getting reflected or not, like it is impacting anywhere or else. So I think all are working fine as expected. Yeah, I need to work on this only tab where how can we integrate, and I need to discuss with Archana, and we can just uh, implement this.
Thanks, Manoj.
And like after completing this boot time, I already started working on that purge implementation according to the new scenario. So we'll discuss those updates by next week call.
Sure, Manoj.
Yeah, those are my updates also.
Manoj, you have seen, right? Sumana has total number of blocks will be showing, and blogs and transactions. Those two also we need to show.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Just now, now
Huh.
we discussed it.
Yeah.
So the So till now, I was just overriding whatever the blocks that are coming from the DB. So now we need to create one more section where we need to throw the total number of blocks as
Correct.
a independent one, not overriding the total number of blocks. So
Correct.
yeah, I'll do the changes and I'll update you now.
Yeah. The implementation, like it remains the same, only in the
Yeah,
response, like,
instead of overriding, I need to just create one more. I already created one more this thing ID where this total number of blocks is being stored. So I
yeah.
need to push that thing as a response to frontend.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So you can connect with Sumana when you're available. So you can, then she will do the integration part.
So maybe like once I complete these changes accordingly, then I'll update to Sumana so that she can change that. She can take the changes from the uh, like pushed code, and
Yeah.
then she can test it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all from my side actually.
So this is the overall progress, Arun. So metrics only we need to like research more how we can implement that.
Yes. Yeah, I took that action item. So we are clear with these subdomain part, right? Like we will first try and ask them if this works. And if they want a native integration, then we'll think of it.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, I may not be like a good in how React works. So if you can get like opinion from the React developers, that will help.
Sure, Arun. Yeah.
So,
Sorry, I missed one part actually. So regarding the transactions, I don't know. So as far as I researched, there is no built-in function or any thing to get the transaction data. The only way is we need to get inside the each and every block where the transaction count will be stored inside the block. So we need to loop over. Then we need to get the total transactions. So that is the only way, and uh, I'll also look into that whether any if I missed any part where this any built-in feature is available, and I'll update accordingly.
sure, Manoj.
Hi, Arun. I think. Yeah, go ahead. Actually.
No, I was just asking, is anything else to be discussed more? Yeah.
I think that's all from our side. That's all.
Yeah, great work going on in different fronts, and also it's great to see other people contributing and creating issues. It's a good sign for the project. Then if there is nothing else, we can end the call. I'll follow up on the metrics implementation in Fabric. Is it okay if I share something similar in other project as well instead of the Fabric, or you want Fabric as a reference?
It would be good because since we are referring to Fabric only, I mean, like other projects in the sense, those metrics are related to Fabric, or how is it, so Arun?
Not Fabric. So there, like long ago, I contributed to Sawtooth project in exposing few metrics, which included counter, histogram, and few other things.
Okay. So
I have the reference.
our concern is like how to bring these functionalities.
Right. So typically, like each of them will have different ways of implementation, right? For instance, if it is counter, then you would be creating a global variable which references. So it goes by that, right? Like there is a tick
like
function.
counter or histogram that we can take it off at a later Arun, but at least first we have to like implement that functionality, right? If I have to get say for example one transaction is invalid, then how do I know, how do I bring that functionality from the Fabric? So that is what we are looking for.
No, we'll not worry about bringing something from Fabric into Explorer. We will try and expose metrics that we can do from Explorer. Like the contents that we see on Explorer, we'll try and expose those content for us.
Like it away.
So for instance, if we are pulling any information from Fabric and then re-exporting in Explorer, I think that does not make sense, right? If they can directly consider those metrics from Fabric. But what we will do is, apart from the node level information, we get network level information in Explorer. The additional information, whatever we can expose from within Explorer, that we will worry about.
So for instance, so in this particular channel we have these many blogs. So since it is already implemented, we can expose that as a metric, you mean to say?
Correct. Yeah, this can serve as, yeah, this is what we can add as a value from Explorer, exposing information that Explorer has. So like the node information, right? One of the things that I see, it's very important that that you implemented recently is about the node visibility. That right, currently there is no solution or a system that can get that kind of information, but because in the Explorer we introduced that capability, if we can expose that as a metric, people can listen to it.
Okay.
So all they have to do is listen to that metric, and then they can set up alerts on that. If any node goes down across any organization, it will alert them saying that this organization is out of sync or not reachable or something bad happened. Currently, it's really difficult to know that information. There is no solution or system that does that.
True.
So we'll expose the information that Explorer has. That way, it benefits the users of Explorer.
Okay. Sure, Arun. Yeah. That's all right. We can drop, I think so.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Arun. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.